Hello. Old joke. I think I did it last time. This is coming from the Abbey Normal Studios in Loughton, which I like my own jokes. Let's big up a couple of people first. Let's big up UTAG. We've informed Camden about a judicial review today. They should be worried. Good luck to Trevor and Angie, who are working tirelessly for the trade. Taxi app, which I'm in myself, which costs £20 a month, which is only a £5 a week, and I've had the odd good fare out of there, and especially in these troubled times. Sometimes that work might help. And the stories today, the nicest cab driver I've ever met is called Steve, but I refer to him as Nice Steve, and he is nice. He's a lovely fella. And he said to me, he was sitting on the rank at the Dorchester, and the concierge called him over. This was a while ago now. You'll find out in a minute why. He said, and I'm looking through the door as they're walking through towards the cab, and I thought it was an Arab with his son and 2 bodyguards. How wrong was I? He says it was Micheal Jackson, dressed as an Arab prince. He said, so I've got in. He said, if you told anyone what I'm going to tell you, they wouldn't believe you. Micheal Jackson wanted to go to record shops. So he says he's taken him. This was how long ago it was. Tower Records at Queensway. Tower Records at Piccadilly Circus. And then he wants McDonald's at Oxford Street. And I said to him, that's probably not a good idea. And he said, no, that's where we want to go. So he says, I said to him, get your McDonald's and eat in the back. He said, no, my son wants to eat in the restaurant. So he says, I'm watching him through the window. And he said, they're all laughing at him. None of them realise it's Micheal Jackson. And then after they've eaten, he comes out. He wants to say, I've never seen it myself, but I've done the knowledge. At the Princess Diana Memorial in Hyde Park, there's a Peter Pan statue. The knowledge is slipping out of my head now. So I said, Steve said, you're probably not going to see it because it's a bit late. So you get us as near as you can. So we got as near as we can. And he was really pleased with the cab journey and how it was. And he's got to take him back to the hotel. So they've pulled up to drop him off at the hotel. And Micheal Jackson said to nice Steve, just wait there while I go and get the money, because he's not carrying any money with him. So he's sitting there waiting. Micheal Jackson comes back out. He's got 2 tickets for his Dangerous tour, 2 signed photographs, and a letter, which is probably worth money, from the Dorchester, thanking him for his professional behaviour in looking after one of their clients. So if you bump into him, nice Steve, I like him a lot. Now I've got to refer to this next one. It goes on a little bit, so one sec. Right, this cabbie told me he wanted to be referred to as the MTB cabbie, and I've titled this cab journey as Attacked by a Midget. He says he's picked up a midget bloke and his girlfriend at the cab rank. Well, he said he picked up a midget and his bird at the cab rank at Charing Cross. Now, they're both 2 or 3 foot high, and he's dressed like a midget Fonzie. He's got a little black leather jacket on, quick kick, his hair in a quiff, white T-shirt, blue jeans, and he wants the Travel Lodge in King's Cross Road. Now, he's kind of got an high-pitched voice like he's on helium. And he says, yeah, mate, I've only been in your cab. Yeah, mate, I've only been in your cab 2 minutes. And there's £8 on the meter already. I said to him, look, pardon me, it is what it is. The meter doesn't lie. He raises his voice and tells me to hurry up. But better not be much more than that. 2 minutes more and he's on me case again. I'm taking the piss out of him. He's going to drag me out of the cab and give me a good idea. The MTB cabbie, I kind of remember him as being a fairly big lad. And his girlfriend then pipes up and went, come on, Dougie, he's taking a piss out of you. So he says, I wanted to take the sting out of the situation. And he said, I told him, look, when we get to where we're going, have a look at the meter and pay what you want to pay. So they arrived at the hotel, and because they're so short, they've both had to jump down, and you heard boom, boom, and opened the door, and she's falling out. Ducky the midget's laid into the MTB cab again. Look what you've effing done. You could have parked a little bit nearer the curb. He says, you cabbies are all the effing same, blah, 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 blah. And he said, look, it's 12.20 on the meter. Just make it a tenner because you've got no money. And they wound him up even more. I've got effing money. He give him £20. And he said, it's lucky I like you. Make it £15, he said. And he's flipped up his collar from his leather jacket and walks off into the hotel. And an MTB cabbie says he could not stop giggling. He'd been threatened by a Fonzie midget. Next one was one that I was involved with, and I've got hailed outside the Ivy club, and it was fairly dark. It was dark, and the chap told me in a very familiar voice where he wanted to go. I went to him, I don't believe it. And he said, you're wrong. Victor Meldrew died years ago. I said, so all right then, I don't believe it. I've got Richard Wilson in the car. And he said, look, usually I'm not somebody who likes being told of me past. He said, but that was a reasonably good impression. I can do some good impressions. And we were talking about his military career and his life and that, and he's a good bloke. And last of all was this is not his real name. This cab, I asked the cabbie, I said, got any interesting or funny stories that I can put on YouTube? And he wants to be known as Richard Dastardly. No to his wife as Dick. So, he says a bloke gets in and he wants a Highgate station, and he says I've taken him to Hampstead. So he says to him, what'd you go this way for? He said, well, you want Highgate station, don't you? It's the cabbie's fault. It's Dick's fault. And he said, yeah, you want... He said, no, mate, I don't want Hampstead, I want Highgate. He said, I take it you want cash, don't you? He said, well, I'd prefer cash. And he said, well, pull over there. He said, I've only got you cash because, he said, I prefer you than I do Uber. So that's all I've got to say. I will be back. Thanks for listening.